Hello students, you are once again welcome to the third unit of this course, Curriculum Studies in Mathematics Education. This unit we shall talk about objectives and values of mathematics and look at some educational reforms that has happened in the past years. As usual, we are going to have 6 sessions. In the first session, we shall be talking about classification of objectives of SHS Mathematics curriculum. Let's look at our objectives for the session. By the end of the session, you should be able to explain the classification of objectives of senior high school mathematics syllabus. In our previous units, we looked at selection and sequencing of subject matter, and then we looked at some justification of selection and sequencing of topics in the school curriculum. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and if you have any challenge with any of the sessions, don't hesitate to contact me. Let's start with today's session. Selection and organization of mathematics courses and planning of students' learning activities are very important. Of course, this is an important part of the teaching and learning process. The what, that is the content, and the how, the pedagogy, how you are going to deliver the content of mathematics, have always been determined by its why, that's objectives and goals. So whatever you teach, that's the content, and how you are going to teach it will depend on the objectives or the goals of that particular concept. Selection of materials should be controlled by purpose, which is to be served by mathematics in the general scheme of education. So we are saying that without objective, selection and organization may result in plainless, wasteful, and ineffective course. So all that we are saying here is that without objectives or goals, you wouldn't know the content to deliver and how to deliver it. That's the pedagogy to employ. These objectives are fundamentally important as a guide to curriculum developers, textbook writers, teachers, and supervisory officers. So you see all the elements here. All these people use objectives that are set in the curriculum or syllabus to guide them in their work. Let's look at classification of objectives. The aim of teaching mathematics are general in scope. Objectives of the subject are specific goals that aid the attainment of the general aims of the subject. So what we are saying is that aims of teaching are very broad, terms, but objectives will break the aims down to subject specific, and then we can measure our delivery from there. The objectives of teaching mathematics at the senior high school can be classified under 4 headings, and these headings are knowledge objectives, skill objectives, appreciation objectives, and attitude objectives. So we can classify the objectives in the syllabus under these 4 headings. Let's look at them one after the other. What do we mean by knowledge objectives? Learn mathematics language, for example, mathematical symbols, formulae, figures, diagrams, definitions. So these are knowledge objectives. So in knowledge objectives, the objectives tend to make students understand and use mathematical concepts like the concept of area, volume, number, direction, etc. So it's something that students should know of head. It's a knowledge. So they should know that when 2 numbers are added, the result is called sum. That's knowledge. They should be able to identify mathematical symbols, formulae, figures, diagrams. All these things constitute what we call knowledge objectives. Also learn the fundamental mathematical ideas, processes, rules, and relationships. Understand the historical background of various topics and contribution of mathematicians. So all these things are knowledge objectives. So if your students are able to do these things, then we say that they have knowledge objectives. They should also be able to understand the significance and use of units of measurement. So So they know that for distance, it can be measured in millimeters, meters, kilometers, and so on. Capacity can be measured in centiliters, liters, milliliters, and so on. So all these things are knowledge objectives. Let's look at skill objectives. For skill objectives, students should be able to learn to express thoughts clearly and accurately. And this deals with doing something, how they are able to perform calculations, both using pen and paper and orally. Students who have skills objectives should be able to do these things. To be able to develop the ability to organize and interpret a given data. So you should be able to do something. So when students are able to do something in mathematics, we call those objectives skill objectives. Learn to reach accurate conclusions by logical reasoning. So it's doing something. Learn to analyze problems and discover fundamental relationships. Develop speed and accuracy in solving problems. Develops the skill to draw accurate geometric figures, so drawing, so skill. And then develops the ability to use mathematical apparatuses and tools skillfully, so using let's say drawing instruments such as compass, protractor, those kind of things. They are all skill objectives. Let's look at appreciation objectives. To appreciate something, you know what we mean by the word appreciation. So in terms of mathematics, when we talk about appreciation objectives, it is the ability to contribute. Students should know the contribution of mathematics to the development of various subjects and occupations. That's one of them. So they should be able to appreciate the fact that mathematics is not a raw subject, but it contributes to the development of various subjects and occupations. Role played by mathematics in modern life. So they should be able to appreciate that, of course, there cannot be modern life without mathematics. Mathematics plays a crucial role in modern life. And appreciate mathematical type of thought which serves as model for scientific thinking in other fields. So they should see mathematics as a scientific way of doing things. Rigor and power of mathematical processes and accuracy of results. They should be able to appreciate that. Then appreciate the cultural value of mathematics, that mathematics is embedded in our cultural practices and values. Value of mathematics as leisure time activity. So they should be able to appreciate that mathematics can be done during leisure time, and it's an activity that can be embarked on, just like playing and play and those stuffs. Then the last type of objective is attitude objectives. What do we mean by that? Develop the attitude of systematically pursuing a task to completion. Perseverance is a key value in mathematics. So with attitude objectives, the students should be able to develop the attitude of systematically pursuing a task to completion. Not that if you are not able to answer a question, you just leave it. No. Develop heuristic attitude. So guided discovery, mentored, and they should be independent. They should independently try to develop this kind of things to discover formulas and all those stuff. It's among attitude. Develop the habit of logical reasoning. So should be able to reason logically. Becomes brief and precise in expressing statements and results. Develop the habit of verification. Should be able to verify your answers. When they get an answer after solving a problem, they should be able to verify whether that answers the question. Develop power, concentration, and independent thinking. Develop the habit of self-reliance. So all these things you see on the screen can be classified under attitude objectives. Alright, so we have come to the end of the first session, and as usual, I'll leave you with this question. Explain the major classifications of the objectives of teaching mathematics at the senior high school level. So you look at them.